Watch how I flip. Watch how I whip. I'm in the whip. I'm in the rest. I never switch. Ice in the wrist. I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They Ella they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. Fielded just inside the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now a first down carry for Harris. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers. You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Under 10. Under 10.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. This is Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, but not be deterred by anything else.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely. A lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really wanted him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just have their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
Good yardage after the catch as that played good for 30 and a first. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 6-0 our score after 1. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Looking to throw. Fields. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski. Complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
This will be taken in at the 1.
We play to win. Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open.
And he loses the football a second time. He's got the first down and more past midfield.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Scott Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. On 2nd and 9, Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Caught by Jones. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. From 13 yards out as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out and open.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Throwing on first down. Fields. It's caught. It's Miller. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Scott Miller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like when you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now Wilson on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that.
Want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
You can't block me. Hey, check right foot. 1 foot. So don't say nothing. Go. 45.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On 3rd down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And out now come the Seahawks. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Right back to him on first down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second and 11 now. Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 30 yards there. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Jones, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again to Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. They'll run it with Jones.
Boom!
Still fighting through tackles. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Fields. This is caught. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Seibert's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Carlton Davis picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the... Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Bucs, it's an important win for their playoff.